Hello and welcome back to this lesson from Simple-ESL, and in today's class we are going to talk about time and possessions of things in English. You will practice using common time expressions to say how often you do things. You will also learn how to use have and has to describe what you own. By the end of this lesson you will be able to describe your daily routine and things that you have in a clear, natural way. Why is this useful and what are our objectives? First, our objectives. First, we will learn how to use time expressions such as every day, once a week, and in the evening to describe routines. Second, we will practice using have or has to talk about things we own. And finally, we'll combine these skills to talk about daily life. For examples, or I play football every Saturday. Understanding time expressions is very useful, and using have is essential for everyday communication. Time expressions can help us to explain when or how often you do things, while we use have to show what we own and what we possess. Together, these forms allow you to share a complete picture of your life. So, for example, I have a big family and we eat together every Sunday. We are using possession along with a time element, using time expressions to show when this happens. So we have ownership and time expressions. I have 2 dogs. I play football every Saturday. Time expressions tell us how often or when something happens. So here are some examples. Every day, every week, every month. Okay, so we can use this to say when we do a thing and how often. How often do you play football? Every week. When do you brush your teeth? Every day. But we actually do it more than once. So what would we use? Once a week, twice a month, 3 times a year. We could talk about how often, frequency. So instead of saying every day to brush your teeth, we could say twice a day. So how often do you brush your teeth? Twice a day. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at night. So we could talk about when we do a thing on a day. So when do you eat breakfast? I eat breakfast in the morning. At the weekend, on Monday, on Friday. We can talk about specific times, specific days when things happen. So when do you play football? At the weekend. When do you go to homework club? On Monday. So here are some examples. I read every day. She goes to the cinema once a month. So notice here, if it was me going to the cinema, I would say I go to the cinema once a month. Don't forget when we use he, she or it, the verb adds s or es on the end. So she go becomes she goes to the cinema once a month. Very useful and important thing to remember. Now let's take a look at the verb to have. We use have to show possession. It shows something belongs to someone. We have I have, you have, we have, they have. The verb changes for he, she or it to has. He has, she has, it has. So if I were to say I have 2 sisters, what if it was a he? He has 2 sisters. She has a bike. I have a bike. If we wanted to ask a question, do you have a car? Yes, I do. No, I don't or do not. What if it was he, she or it and we were answering that question? Does she have a car? Does he have a computer? No, he doesn't. Does not. Once again, like with go, the verb changes. We have to add s or es for he, she, or it. He does. He doesn't. Does he have a computer? No, he doesn't. So, I have. You have. He has. She has. I do. You do. He does. She does. Let's do a bit of a gap fill exercise. I'd like you to pick a correct time expression. There will be more than one, but let's go through this. I play football, we could say, every Saturday. When we're talking about a particular day, we could say on the day. I play football on Saturday. She studies English. If we're going to use the same structure of on the evening, or would we say in the evening? With time expressions, if we're talking about a particular day, it is on. If we're talking about a particular time, it would be in the evening. We go shopping every week. We go shopping every week. He calls his parents once a year, month, or week. So we can say once a year, month, or week. They visit their grandparents every year. Let's try to correct some mistakes. These are common mistakes and I want us to fix them together. She has two brothers. So two would mean there's plural. So is brother correct? She has two brothers. Let's try another one. They goes shopping every Friday. Is that the correct form of the verb to go? They goes shopping? They go shopping every Friday. I have a bike. So far so good. But my friend don't has one. My friend would be he, she, or it. So is don't correct? Or should it be does not? My friend doesn't have one. He watched TV in the morning. We need to add an es to the verb. He watches TV in the morning. We has many books. Is that the correct form of the verb to have? We have many books. So pay attention. For example, he watches needs the ending es. Doesn't have needs to replace don't has. So make sure you're using the correct form of the verbs. When it's he, she, or it often has an s or es on the end of the verb. Bit of a sentence scramble here. I'd like us to write correct sentences, building them from these scrambles. Have I phone A? What do I own? I have a phone. The next one. What do I do every weekend? We go shopping every weekend. The next one. A lady owns something. What does she own? She has a dog. A question here, asking about routine. I'll give you a few seconds. What do you have in the morning? Or what do you do in the morning? And what does he not have? He doesn't have a computer. Well done, and hopefully this is helping you to build that structure and to figure out how to build your own sentences using this format. A bit of a dialogue conversation here. I'd like you to complete this dialogue with the best possible answer. So read it for a few seconds, and here we go. What do you have in your bag? I I own. I have a book and a pen. How often do you read? It's frequency. I do it all the time, every day. Does your friend own, have a book too? Now, is it do or does? Yes, she does. This dialogue brings together both of today's grammar points, time expressions and the verb to have. And I'd like you to use this to build your own answers to these questions. Start to talk about your life. What do you have in your bag? Do you have a bike or a car? Yes, you do. No, you don't. How often do you use your phone? Every day? How often? How often do you go shopping? Do you go every day? Every month? Every week? Once a week? What things does your best friend have? He has, she has. And what have we learned from today's lesson? Well, today we've learned common time expressions for routines. We've used have and has to show possession and ownership of a thing. We've also combined both to talk about our life and routines. If you'd like more work with this, you can always sign up to our Patreon page using allmylinks.com/simple-esl21. You'll also find links to get money off tutoring, access to other worksheets. Go to the link in the description or in the bio to get access to this. But if you would like a free homework task, I want you to write 5 sentences using have or has. And then write 5 sentences with time expressions. Talk about your routine, write a little bit of a diary about your day and week. And we will see you in the next lesson. Have a wonderful day.